5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. You know, a long time ago, I was walking across a parking lot that had new not pavement, what do you call it, blacktop put on it. And it was when I worked at the Star Banner, believe it or not. And the Star Banner was not where it is now. It was over there by the S-curve. It's not even, the building's not even there. It was totally torn down. But anyway, I was walking across the newly blacktopped parking lot, and there was a piece of grass already poking through it. And I was going through things in my life at that time. I was just trying to figure out what to do, and kind of doubting my own ability to do things. And then I thought, gosh, if that little piece of plant had enough faith to make its way through something that looks unpenetratable, then I certainly can do things with my life. And right in front of me right now is a photograph that looks exactly like what I remember, except this looks like a flower and not a piece of grass. It is on a flyer for a special event that is coming up. Two young men are in the studio who I believe have already impressed me just with what I've looked at. TJ Moon, I've known for a very long time and has always impressed me. I've always thought, TJ, that you're going to be one of those guys doing the TED Talks. Yes. And I think this is evidence that this is exactly where you're going. Yes. And I probably am meeting for the first time William F. Stiles. It looks like you're in that same mold. TJ Moon, Thomas J. Moon, is a speaker and an author. William Stiles is the founder of Joy University. We'll learn what that is. There's a special event they are here to promote. It's a week from today, right? At 6 p.m. at the Ocala Inner Center at 205 South Magnolia here in Ocala. It's a free event. Refreshments will be provided. And TJ's presentation is Busting Down Barriers, and William Stiles' presentation is 3 Keys to Falling in Love with Your Work. A fabulous idea in both cases. Thomas, TJ, how you doing down there?
Good morning.
Oh, how you doing? And William, good morning to you as well.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you for coming in. I love what you guys are doing. So what is the Ocala Inner Center? What is that?
Yeah, it's a center here in Ocala where people who are interested in personal growth can go to various classes. And I saw it as a perfect spot for TJ and I to hold our event, because we are doing this not only for our own growths as speakers, but also for the growth of people in the community, to busting down the barriers of their life and falling in love with their work, ultimately falling in love with their life.
Have you done this? Have you fallen in love with your work?
Yes and no.
Do you divorce yourself if you're not if there's no hope? Like, I've had jobs in factories, and let me tell you real quick. As a young man, I worked in factories. I hated it. And I just a little insight into me. I said a prayer, and I said to God, I don't care what you give me. Just give me a job where I work with people and not with machines. Because back in those days, factories were nothing but noisy machines. Now I guess they're streamlined and quieter. And then my life went in that direction. I work with people all the time, and so it did go in that direction. But I don't think I could have ever fallen in love. Somebody else could have, but I couldn't have. So is that part of your advice too, is to divorce yourself if you can never fall in love with your work?
Well, here's a key point. There's a challenge in everything. So there's going to be something hard in everything. And when we find ourselves in that situation to where we're in a work that's really hard and really challenging, what we tend to do is want to run away from it. We tend to want to run to the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. And I am a proponent of that. I am a proponent of doing work that you love. But more importantly, I'm a proponent of finding ways of loving what you're doing right now, so that when you do go and do work that you love, it's not because you're running away, but it's because you're running towards something.
Very well put. I like that. Yeah, and I like the way you said that. So, is the event interactive, or do we listen to you talk, or do you interact with the audience?
Well, my style as a speaker is very interactive. I believe that I'm best when people are asking me questions and I'm allowing answers to flow through me. Mm-hmm. Although I do have material ready to present, and I will present that. I have things that I've learned in my life that I feel are very important. But I also want to keep in mind that the people that I'm there in front of are more important than anything else going on. Their lives, their hearts, what they have, and the questions they may have is more important than the material that I have to present.
Oh, wonderful. TJ, you have had your share of barriers that you have had to bust through.
I sure have.
For those who don't know TJ, he's in a wheelchair, and I know you have stood up in some photographs, but you're basically in a wheelchair all the time.
For the most part, I use the wheelchair, but I use a walker once in a while.
So when you talk about busting down barriers, you've had your share, and by having your share, you probably have an understanding of what? Fill in the blank for me. What do you have an understanding of that somebody who hasn't, or maybe somebody's barriers are invisible? Maybe they're psychological barriers.
It's just every day we get some kind of barrier, and from my experience, is when it hits you and it tries to knock you to the ground. You gotta acknowledge it, but you can't let it hold you down. Where it runs your life, you gotta just, like I say, bust it down. You gotta take it by the horns and tell it that it's not gonna run your life. This is your life, and nothing can stop it.
And you've been doing that for a lot of years. You've written a book on that.
Yes.
You do go to other clubs and you do speak. So now
Yes.
you and William are presenting something very unique to the community.
Yes. We actually, and we can't connect like a lot of people. We connected to Facebook. And he hit me up one day because I have a big poster that kind of talks about me and is the marketing thing. And I'm trying to meet people to help me kind of hang them up around town. And William said he would help. So we met one day and we were talking, and he had the idea of putting on like some kind of motivational workshop. So we came up with this and kind of been running with it, and since we're a week away, it was so excited. I can feel it running through my veins. I'm like so excited.
Wow, that's exciting stuff. Do you know how I've handled breaking through barriers with other people? Not that I've used other people. Hopefully, I've been recruited to help break down barriers for other people. But it is, and I think, just going back to my religious beliefs, I believe God put us here to help one another.
Yes.
And sometimes we have to go through hard times just so we learn that lesson, and we have to be there for others. And so, but not always. But sometimes a financial barrier, truly requires you just, kind of taking, inventory of your own resources and figuring out what you can do. And that goes right back to what you're trying to talk about, William, with your job and loving it. I think loving your job is a way to excel at it.
Well, you're right. And here's what happens is sometimes we get into work and before we get the job, we're praying. We're like, God, please, if I could just get this job, life would be amazing. I would be so happy. And then you get the news. You got the job. And you're so excited and you start work and you're on cloud nine and everything's great. But what happens is over the weeks and the months ahead, our enthusiasm starts to wane. And then before we know it, all we're doing is seeing the negative. All we're doing is pinpointing the crap, the stuff that we don't like. And then we wake up in the morning and we're just dreading going to work.
Oops. We'll have to put that on hold and we'll come right back. I didn't mean for that to be so loud, but that's our cue to take the 15-minute break. William F. Stiles is here. He's the founder of Joy University. I want you to explain what that is. And Thomas Moon, TJ Moon, is here. Do you want us to start addressing you as Thomas? You've been TJ for all.
Call me whatever you want.
Thomas Moon is here. Busting Down Barriers. We'll be right back. There's a special event 1 week from today. We'll give you the details after the break.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be partly sunny today. Watch out for a thunderstorm or two during the afternoon and evening hours. The high today 88 to 92. And partly cloudy overnight, low 72 to 76. For tomorrow, sunshine mixing with clouds, a shower and thunderstorm in the area during the afternoon and evening hours. High tomorrow, 89 to 93. Thursday, partly sunny with a shower or thunderstorm mainly in the afternoon. The high again, 89 to 93. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 840-0750. That's 840-0750.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source.
Who doesn't love heading out on the boat with a family, hitting the ATV trails with friends, or blazing new stretches of highway with riding buddies? Your toys are your ticket to outdoor fun. At the McDonald Allstate Agency, we get to know you and help make sure you have all the right coverages. Plus, when you bundle your coverage for your car and your home with your boat, motorcycle, RV, or more, you can save up to 30%. So call the McDonald Allstate Agency today at 622-2333 or stop by one of our 2 Ocala locations at Calla Hills or the Jasmine Square Plaza.
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
It's the sound of whirring drills and slurping suction and scratching scalers that cause many of us to panic in a dentist chair. Don't miss this. It's so simple. Standing more can help you lose a significant amount of weight. One of the all-time most hated lines by women, "Feel my shirt." Do you know what that feels like? Boyfriend material.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
18 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. And this is a special event happening 1 week from today. And it is at the Ocala Inner Center at 205 South Magnolia Avenue. And this is a free event. William F. Stiles is the founder of Joy University. He'll be presenting his program, 3 Keys to Falling in Love with Your Work. Stop feeling trapped and start loving your work today. And Thomas Moon is there to talk about his program called Busting Down Barriers. He has had his share of barriers, physical, perhaps as we all do, some emotional, probably some psychological. It's probably not unusual, but when you learn how to break them down, you are certainly much better off. The two work hand in hand, the 2 gentlemen as well as the 2 topics. They go well. Is the Inner Center, is that the building with the blue canopy or the blue entryway? Do you want to talk about the overhang thing?
Yes, it is. It's about a block south of Starbucks on Magnolia.
But it's got that blue awning or something. Whatever.
Yes, it
I know
is.
what you mean. I know exactly what you mean now. Okay. All right. So when we're talking about you guys are going to be TED talkers. I guess I'm seeing your future here. Dude, whatever that TED thing is, I don't even know what TED stands for.
There's a TED Talk actually coming to Ocala on November.
Oh, is that right?
Something, I think it's the 7th. That me and Alpha Goy is putting together. She's one of the
speakers?
The organizers. And we actually, I got very signed up to be a speaker. I told William to give it a shot. So that's kind of in our future, but I've always, the last couple of years, that's been one of my goals is to get on TED Talks and
well, I think you're there.
Get out there.
You'd be perfect for it. It sounds like you both would be. So I'm going to do a backwards question and ask you to identify something, if you could, kind of give you a little bit of a curveball here. Not to stump you, but just because I want to hear your insight. You both are deep thinkers. What one thing do you think most people cave into the most? Is it lack of faith in oneself? Is it what would your answer be to that question? What defeats us? Well, how do we defeat ourselves? What one thing that do we need to get over?
For one, I think is we have people there for support, and our friends and family. But I think we let other people kind of more or less try and run our life for us.
Right.
Rather than tell them to step back and to be there, but not to hold us back and keep a tight grip on us, but to be there for advice and support.
Smart. Well, and I think when we lean on somebody too much, we hurt ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah, we certainly do. William, do you have an answer? You write something down.
Right. No, I do. I think what we tend to do is we tend to focus on what's not right. What's not right with ourselves, what's not right with our partners, what's not right with our work, what's going wrong, and we don't focus nearly enough on what's going right. What's right with us, what's right with our work, and what's right with our partners. And I think that if we could have a more balanced approach to see the good and the bad, like the light and the dark, then we can, have a more balanced approach to life and not tend to go towards where we get into excess food, excess, drugs and things like that. So to me, that's where I feel like we fall apart, is where we start just focusing on what's not working in our life versus what is working in our life.
Is that what you speak about at Joe University then?
That's certainly part of it, because in my life, I used to only see what was not right. I'm fat, broke, lonely, stupid, not good enough. And at some point I started looking at, okay, what is right with me? What am I good at? What is good with my girlfriend? What is good about my work? And
you have a girlfriend to ask that question. That's half the battle right there.
So, and what it does is it just puts us in a different state of mind, and so then our energy inside of ourselves build up to the point where we feel like doing something productive, and we
You're a good looking guy. Why would you even see? I'm always amazed at this kind of stuff.
Yes, exactly.
So don't question yourself at all. Both of you are so talented, and so I'm impressed by both of you as I've been with TJ for so long. I really think that you're hitting on something, and it's a message that needs to be heard. And I think the fact that you are, you're a good-looking couple of guys, and you're young, and I think young people need this message. I think older people need the message too, but I think younger people especially, and especially if your whole life you're in school and you're waiting for that dream job, and the entry level is not what you wanted. Well, everybody has to climb the ladder, except from maybe if your name is Donald Trump Jr. Yeah. I mean, other than the few exceptions, you have to climb that ladder.
And you have to be willing to do the work, and you have to be willing to understand. You have to understand that there's a challenge in everything. No matter what you choose to do, there's going to be something about it that's hard, and you have to understand. Don't be surprised when it's challenging. So I think that if you can go into whatever work you do, understanding it's going to be a challenge, and you can develop tools and strategies to handle those challenges instead of running away from them, you're be better able to enjoy your life, have joy in your life, and create whatever you want to create in life.
Do you think sometimes, TJ, that we look at the barriers and we just resign ourselves to the fact that we're defeated by them? And does that happen to us?
We put what I see as people, they see the hardness, and they tell themselves that they can't get anywhere, so they stop. And what they call the freaking box.
The what?
The freaking F-R-E.
The freaking box. Yep. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Kind of see my emphasis, but the box is, the comfort zone kind of. It's so comfortable. It may be the best looking place, be the best box ever, but that box is getting you nowhere. So why not step out of that box into what they call the beautiful field, which is
Do you know?
the world.
I heard Steve Harvey, the comedian, say something one time, and I questioned what he said, but I get what he said. He said, if you want to move on in your life and do great things, you have to quit that job you hate and go for the thing you really want. And I thought, well, hold on a minute. You tell somebody to quit their job, you're going to end up worse. You have to. I think the approach is. And I love Steve Harvey, so I doubt that he'll ever hear this. But if he did, I would. My approach is different. And don't quit the job. What you do is you can look at it like you're climbing a rope. You don't want to let go of the rope. You just want to hold on enough until you can grab the next piece, and then maybe there's going to be another rope closer to you. It's kind of like a video game.
Let me give you my experience. As you probably know, I've been in talking about it, is that I used to be a web designer. And I kind of worked my way through that. It was going nowhere. And I did some thinking throughout the year. And that's when I decided my passion was to help people and to make a difference. So I decided to go towards that path. But I think it took me going through the owning my own business and the web design to get where I am today. If I didn't go through that web design, I might have jumped into this being totally in a blank and probably messed it up and would be nowhere.
Well.
So it takes going through those struggles to get where you want to be.
Well, and there's also the money factor. I mean, if you're doing something well, but it's not making any money, you still have to find something else.
Yeah, that's how I was. I was losing more money than I was making.
Yeah.
So it was smart to let it go than to keep it.
William, what is the Joy University? Is it actual physical building somewhere?
No, the Joy University is a calling in my heart. And you talked about a job that you have right now. I have a full-time job, and I'm using that full-time job as a foundation for financial reasons and other. But it's not where I see myself in the next 5 years or the next 10 years. I feel like, I really got in touch with what I'm good at, what I was put on earth to do. And based on that, I decided to found Joy University, and it's joyuniversity.com. That's where you can go to register for this event.
Okay.
And so for me, it's about creating joy in our lives through work, through relationships, and through our health.
Two very motivating young men in the studio with us, William Stiles and Thomas Moon. You're the future Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar. I don't know who's who, but thank you for doing what you're doing and for coming in to share it with us on the radio. This video will be up on the internet by 2:00 today. So anybody listening who somebody who could benefit from this very special event next week, a week from today, share this with them so they can go see William and Thomas. How long of an event is it?
It's a 2-hour event from 6 to 8 p.m. Next Tuesday night. Food and drinks will be provided, but you do need to register at joyuniversity.com to attend.
Okay, and you got food from the Mojo Grill, it looks like?
Yes, food from the Mojo Grill and Ocala Realty World. I definitely want to thank those guys for sponsoring this event.
And see, now there's a guy, the guys over at Mojo. I mean, these are the guys who had this dream of having a restaurant, and it's just an amazing thing to watch it all become a reality for them.
Yes. And this fantastic flyer is by Amy Kale Designs.
Oh,
she
good job.
It, so
she did a great job.
Well, thank you for what you're doing. Again, just to say what I said before, everybody needs the message that both of you are giving, especially young people. So if you know somebody who would benefit, have them show up to next Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. at the Ocala Inner Center, 205 South Magnolia Avenue. Go to joyuniversity.com. William Stiles, Thomas Moon, thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. 1 week after the shooting death of an Illinois police lieutenant, the search for his killers continues.